Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Quiet Hearth. Tonight, we are going to travel back through time to explore the quiet, magical history of Christmas. But before we begin our journey, I have a small question for you. I am always fascinated to know where our community is listening from. Where are you right now? Are you in a busy city or a quiet town? And what time is it there? Is it past midnight? Or are you taking a midday rest? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading about the places you call home. But now, put your phone aside, take a deep breath. You are safe here. You are walking through a forest, not a park, not a trail with markers and maps and other people in bright jackets, a real forest, a wild forest, ancient, untouched, unchanged for thousands of years. This is Northern Europe, long ago. So long ago that Rome is still young, that writing is rare, that cities are distant rumors, that most of humanity lives in small groups, tribes, clans, families, scattered, isolated, alone in the wilderness. It is winter, deep winter, and you are walking through snow, through trees, through silence. The trees are old, so old, oak, ash, birch, pine, their trunks are massive, thick, gnarled, covered in moss, in lichen, in the growth of centuries. Their branches reach up, tangle, interweave, create a canopy that even now, even bare of leaves, blocks much of the sky. Snow covers everything, deep snow, white, pure, untouched except by animals, by wind, by the slow accumulation of winter. It weighs down the evergreen branches, bends them. Some have broken, fallen, disappeared into drifts below. Your breath is visible, white clouds, freezing immediately in the cold air. The temperature is far below freezing, has been for weeks, will be for weeks more. This is not temporary cold, not a cold snap, not a brief inconvenience. This is winter, real winter, the kind that kills, that tests, that demands respect. You are dressed in layers, fur, leather, wool, whatever could be made, hunted, woven, prepared. Your people have been preparing for this for months, since autumn, since harvest, gathering, storing, making, creating what is needed to survive the dark months. The silence is absolute, profound. There are no birds, they have gone south, or they are hidden, silent, conserved, waiting. No insects, they are dead or dormant, or eggs waiting for spring, waiting for warmth, waiting for life to return. No wind, not today. The air is still, frozen, perfectly calm. Your footsteps in the snow are the only sound. Crunch, 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 rhythmic, steady, breaking the crust, sinking, rising, moving forward. You are not alone. Others walk with you, your tribe, your family, moving together. Through the forest, on a mission, a purpose. Something important, something necessary, something that has been done for generations, for centuries, for as long as anyone can remember. You are searching, looking, scanning the trees, the fallen logs, the standing dead, for something specific, something essential. The Yule log, not just any log, not just any piece of wood, but the right one, the special one, the one that will burn all night, the longest night, the night that is coming, soon, very soon. Tonight is the winter solstice, the shortest day, the longest night, the darkest point of the year, when the sun, weak, distant, cold, reaches its lowest point in the sky, when darkness dominates, when night seems eternal. Your people fear this night, not with panic, not with terror, but with respect, with awareness, with the knowledge that this is the turning point, the hinge, the moment when the year could tip either way. Will the sun return? Will the days begin to lengthen? Will light come back? Will warmth return? Will spring arrive? Will life continue? Or will the darkness keep growing? Will the night consume everything? Will the sun disappear forever? Will cold become permanent? Will this winter be the last winter, the eternal winter, the end? These are not abstract questions, not philosophical, not metaphorical. These are real fears, real uncertainties, because your people do not understand astronomy, do not know about orbits and tilts and predictable cycles. They only know observation, pattern, history. The sun has always returned. Always, every year, every winter, it reaches this point, this darkest point, and then it turns. It begins to climb again. Days lengthen, warmth increases, spring arrives, life returns, always, but will it this time? How can anyone know? How can anyone be certain? What if this year it doesn't? And so, your people perform rituals, do things, specific things, important things, things that have been done before, things that worked before, things that, perhaps, help, or at least, acknowledge, honor, request. They bring the sun back, or they celebrate its return, or they encourage its return, or they simply wait together through the longest night, with fire, with light, with hope. The Yule log is part of this, central to this, essential to this. You spot it, there, ahead, a fallen oak, large, thick. The trunk is massive, perhaps 3 feet across. It fell years ago, decades perhaps, but it has not rotted. The cold preserves. The dryness protects. It is seasoned, perfect, ready. The group approaches, examines. Yes, this is the one, this will do, this is right. The men begin to work, axes, saws, primitive tools, but effective, efficient, honed, maintained, essential. They cut a section, perhaps 6 feet long, perhaps more, as much as can be carried, as much as can fit, as much as will burn. It takes time, effort. The wood is hard, dense, oak, strong, but slowly, gradually, the section is freed, cut, separated, ready. Ropes are tied, wrapped, secured, and then, together, the group lifts, strains, begins to drag through the snow, through the forest, back, toward home, toward the village, toward the fire that waits. The journey is slow, difficult. The log is heavy. The snow is deep, but no one complains, no one questions. This is necessary, this is tradition, this is what must be done. You walk through the silent forest, through the white wilderness, Through the cold, the log drags behind, leaving a wide trail, a scar in the snow, a path that will fill, will disappear, will be erased by the next snowfall. But for now, it marks your passage, your purpose, your participation in something ancient, something important, something that connects you to your ancestors, to those who came before, who did this same thing in this same forest, for generations beyond counting. The village appears, small, a cluster of structures, low, made from wood and thatch and mud. Smoke rises from holes in roofs, gray, thin, constant. The smell of wood smoke fills the air, mixed with the smell of animals, of people, of life. The log is brought to the center, to the long house, the communal building where everyone will gather tonight. For the longest night, for the vigil, for the waiting, inside, preparation, the fire pit is ready, stones arranged, ashes cleared, space made. The old fire has been burning all year, carefully tended, never allowed to die completely. Because starting fire is difficult, requires effort, skill, luck, better to maintain, to keep alive, to preserve. But tonight is special. Tonight the old fire will be extinguished, deliberately, ritually, and the new fire will be started. Fresh, clean, pure, using the Yule log, the special log, the sacred log. The log is positioned carefully, one end placed into the fire pit, the other extending out, waiting. It will burn slowly from one end, gradually through the night, through the entire longest night, if chosen correctly, if sized properly, if the ancestors favor, if the ritual is performed right. Kindling is placed around the end, beneath it, small sticks, dry bark, pine needles, everything that catches easily, everything that burns hot, everything that will ignite the massive oak. The sun is setting, already, so early, so soon. The short day is ending. The long night is beginning. The darkest time, the turning point, the moment. Everyone gathers. The entire village, old, young, everyone, they fill the long house, sit, wait, watch, silent, reverent, aware. The fire lighter, the elder, the one who knows, steps forward with flint, with steel, with tinder, with skill, strikes, sparks, fall, land, smoke, and then flame, small, tentative, but growing. The flame finds the kindling, spreads, climbs, reaches the Yule log, tests it, learns it, begins to consume it, slowly. The oak resists, but gradually, inevitably, it catches, it burns. Orange light fills the long house. Warmth radiates. The fire grows, strengthens, establishes itself. The Yule log is burning. The vigil has begun. The longest night is here, and you, along with everyone else, settle in to wait, to watch, to keep the fire burning, to stay awake, to witness, to ensure the sun returns. Outside, darkness complete. The stars are visible, bright, cold, distant. The moon perhaps, if it is there. If the night is clear, casting blue light on white snow, creating a world of shadows, of silence, of cold. But inside, warmth, light, community. The Yule log burns, the people gather. The vigil continues, hour after hour, through the night, through the darkness, through the longest night of the year, waiting, hoping, believing that when morning comes, when dawn arrives, the sun will rise, will return, will begin its slow climb back toward spring, toward warmth, toward life. This is the origin. This is the beginning. This is what Christmas came from. Long before Christianity, long before Christ, long before the name, long before the story, this is winter celebration. Primal, ancient, essential, born from cold, from darkness, from fear, from hope, from the simple human need to mark the turning of the year, to acknowledge the darkness and to celebrate, to encourage, to pray for the return of light. The Yule log burns, the people wait. The longest night passes, slowly, silently, sacredly, and in the morning, the sun rises again, as it always has, as it always will. But they don't know that, they only know relief, gratitude, joy. The light has returned. Winter will end, spring will come, life will continue. For another year, and the tradition, the ritual, the celebration, has worked again and will be repeated next year and the year after and for centuries to come. This is where it begins, in ancient forests, in longest nights, in sacred fires, in the Yule log. This is the quiet history of Christmas. Time moves forward, centuries pass. The forests remain. The winters remain, the darkness remains, but something has changed. Something new has arrived. Christianity, the faith, the church, the story of a child born in Bethlehem, in winter, in darkness, bringing light, bringing hope, bringing salvation, the old celebrations, the solstice, the Yule. They do not disappear, they cannot disappear, they are too deep, too necessary, too human, but they transform, adapt, merge. The church is wise, it does not destroy, it absorbs, it redefines, it claims. December 25th, Dies Natalis Solis Invicti, the birthday of the unconquered Son, becomes Christmas, Christ's Mass, the celebration of birth, of light entering darkness, of hope entering despair, of divinity entering humanity. And nowhere is this transformation more complete, more devoted, more sincere than in the monasteries, the abbeys, the quiet places, where men have dedicated their lives to God, to prayer, to silence, to something beyond the world. You are in one now, a monastery, stone walls, thick, cold, ancient, built to last, built to endure, built to shelter those who have withdrawn, who have chosen a different life. A life of contemplation, of service, of sacred routine. It is December. The year is 1200. The Middle Ages, medieval Europe, a time of kings and peasants, of castles and villages, of faith so deep it shapes everything, defines everything, is everything. The monastery is quiet. It is always quiet. Silence is the rule here. Speech is permitted only when necessary, only for essential communication. The rest, all the rest, is silence, sacred silence. The silence that allows prayer, that invites God, that creates space for the divine. You walk through the stone corridors, the halls, narrow, dark, lit only by small windows, high, narrow, allowing light but not warmth. The stone floor is cold beneath your feet, even through shoes, through the rough sandals worn here. The cold is constant, present, accepted. The walls are bare, no decoration, no ornament, no excess. Just stone, gray stone, fitted, mortared, rising up to vaulted ceilings, to arches, to the architecture of faith. Simple, strong, eternal, your breath is visible, small clouds. The corridors are not heated, cannot be heated. The only warmth comes from the chapter house, the refectory, the places where monks gather, where small fires are permitted, but even there, the warmth is minimal, rationed, practical. You hear something, soft, distant, echoing. Sound traveling through stone halls, through empty spaces, through the cold air. Chanting. Voices, male voices, many voices, united, harmonizing, singing. But not singing like you know. Not melody for entertainment, not performance. This is prayer sung prayer, Gregorian chant, ancient, modal, ethereal. The sound is haunting, beautiful, otherworldly. It does not sound like one world, like earthly voices. It sounds like something else, something beyond, something divine. The notes are plain, simple, no instruments, no accompaniment, just voices, pure voices, rising, falling, weaving, creating something that transcends the individual, that becomes collective, universal, sacred. You follow the sound. Through the corridors, toward the chapel, the church, the heart of the monastery where everything centers, where everything begins and ends, where the monks spend hours, many hours, every day, 7 times a day, for prayer, for liturgy, for the divine office. The chapel door is open, heavy wood, dark wood, carved not ornately, but carefully, with respect, with skill. You step inside, the space opens, expands. The ceiling is high, vaulted, stone ribs rising, meeting, supporting, creating the architecture of heaven, symbolizing, pointing up, always up, toward God, toward transcendence, toward something greater. The monks are there, rows of them standing in their places, in the choir stalls, wooden seats, simple, arranged on both sides, facing each other, facing the altar, the focal point, the sacred center. They wear habits, long robes, wool, undyed, natural, brown or black or white, depending on the order, simple cloth, rough, practical, with hoods, cowls. That can be raised, lowered, for warmth, for privacy, for prayer. Their faces are barely visible. Some are young, some are old, some are middle-aged, but all are devoted, all are present, all are participating in the chant, in the prayer, in the sacred work. The chant continues. Latin words, ancient words, psalms, hymns, prayers that have been sung for centuries, that will be sung for centuries more. The melody is simple but profound, each note held, extended, given space, given breath, given reverence. The acoustics of the chapel amplify everything, enhance everything. The stone walls reflect, resonate, create layers, echoes. The sound fills the space, completely, surrounds, envelops, becomes the air itself. And in this moment, in this chant, in this prayer, you understand something. This is their Christmas. This is their celebration, not gifts, not feasting, not decoration, just this prayer, devotion, worship, the acknowledgement of the divine, the commemoration of the incarnation, of God becoming human, of light entering darkness. The chant ends slowly. The final note fades, hangs in the air, and then silence, complete silence. The monks bow slightly, reverently, and then they process out, slowly, in order, in their assigned sequence, moving toward their next obligation, their next prayer, their next task. You remain standing, alone now, in the empty chapel. The silence is profound, but not empty, not vacant. It is full, pregnant, heavy with presence, with the residue of prayer, with the accumulation of centuries of devotion, with something sacred. You notice the candles, many candles, arranged on the altar, on stands, in niches. Small flames, steady, unmoving in the still air. They burn, constantly, day and night, tended, maintained, never allowed to go out. The candles are beeswax, pure beeswax, not tallow, not fat. Tallow is for common use, for peasants, for necessity. But here, in the chapel, in the presence of the divine, only beeswax, clean, pure, sweet-smelling. The scent fills the chapel, mingles with something else. Incense, frankincense, myrrh, the precious resins, burned, offered, released, creating smoke, white smoke, rising, drifting, disappearing into the heights of the vaulted ceiling, carrying prayers, symbolizing, ascending. The smell is intoxicating, not overwhelming, but present, constant. It is the smell of sacred space, of holiness, of something set apart, different. Special. You walk toward the altar, slowly, respectfully. Your footsteps echo, soft but audible. The stone floor is worn smooth from centuries of footsteps, of processionals, of monks walking this same path, daily, hourly, endlessly. Behind the altar, against the far wall, there is a window, stained glass, not elaborate, not the grand windows of later cathedrals, but simple, colored glass, arranged, creating an image, perhaps Mary, perhaps Christ, perhaps a saint. The colors are muted, deep, red, blue, green, gold. The winter light filters through, weak, pale but transformed, made beautiful, made sacred. The colored light falls onto the altar, onto the floor, onto the stone, creating patches of color in the gray, creating beauty in the austere, creating warmth in the cold. You turn, notice another space, off to the side, the scriptorium, the writing room where the monks work, where they create, where they preserve. You move toward it, enter. The room is smaller, quieter, more intimate. There are desks, angled desks, slanted at each desk, a monk sitting, working, silent, completely silent, focused, absorbed in their task. They are copying manuscripts. Books, sacred texts, the Bible, the Gospels, the writings of the Church Fathers, carefully, precisely, perfectly. Each letter formed, each word written, each line straight, each page a work of art, of devotion, of preservation. The only light comes from candles, one at each desk, positioned carefully to illuminate but not to disturb, not to flicker too much, not to threaten the precious parchment, the irreplaceable work. The monks write with quills, goose feathers, cut, sharpened, dipped in ink. Black ink made from oak galls, from iron, from gum Arabic, mixed, prepared, perfect for writing, for permanence. The scratching is audible, soft, rhythmic, quill on parchment, the sound of creation, of preservation, of faithfulness. This is their work. This is their contribution. This is how they serve. Not in fields, not in battle, not in trade, but here, in silence, in candlelight, in dedication. Some pages are illuminated, decorated, not all. Only the special ones, the important ones, the beginning of books. The first letters made large, ornate, colored, gold leaf applied carefully, painstakingly, creating beauty, offering beauty to God, for God. The work is slow, so slow. A single page might take hours. A single book might take months, years. A lifetime dedicated to producing a few precious volumes. But they do not complain, do not rush. This is their calling, their vocation, their life. And in this season, in December, in the days approaching Christmas, they work on special texts, the Nativity, the birth narratives, Matthew, Luke, the stories of angels and shepherds and magi, of a star, of a stable, of a child, born to save the world. They copy these words with extra care, extra reverence, extra devotion, because this is the season. This is the celebration. This is what makes this time different, sacred, holy. Outside, the world continues, villages, castles, feudal systems. Wars, plagues, hardship, struggle, but here, inside these stone walls, there is peace, quiet, order, routine, the rhythm of prayer, of work, of simple living. The monks do not feast, not like the nobles, not like the wealthy. Their Christmas meal will be slightly better than usual, perhaps. A bit more bread, a taste of honey, a small portion of fish, but no excess, no indulgence, no luxury. Their celebration is not in consumption, but in contemplation, in prayer, in devotion. This is Christmas in the Middle Ages, for those who have chosen this life, this quiet life, this dedicated life, this life of stone and silence and candlelight and prayer. The chanting will continue, 7 times today, 7 times tomorrow, 7 times every day. Christmas is not one day, not one moment. It is a season, 12 days, from December 25th to Epiphany, days of celebration, of sacred time, of remembering, of worshiping. And through it all, through all the prayers and all the chanting and all the copying and all the silence, there is something intangible, something profound, something real, the presence of the divine, the touch of the sacred, the experience of something beyond the stone, beyond the cold, beyond the hardship, beyond the world. This is what they seek, what they find, what they live for in this monastery, in this chapel, by this candlelight. The monk's candle burns. Steady, pure, sacred, a small flame in the darkness, in the cold, in the medieval world, bringing light, preserving light, celebrating light. The light that came into the world on Christmas, long ago in Bethlehem and remains here, now, in this quiet place, in this holy place, in this monastery, where Christmas is not noise, not excess, not stress, but silence and prayer and devotion and peace. The candle burns, the chant echoes, the quill scratches, the silence holds. And Christmas, the quiet Christmas, the sacred Christmas, continues. Time moves forward again. Another 300 years. The world is changing, transforming. The Renaissance has arrived. The printing press. New ideas, new worlds discovered, ships crossing oceans, knowledge spreading. The medieval gives way to something else, something brighter, more vibrant, more alive. England, the 1500s, the Tudor period, Henry, Elizabeth, a time of grandeur, of power, of culture, of transformation. The church has split. Reformed, changed, but Christmas remains, adapted, reformed, but still. Christmas, you are in a manor house, a great house, stone, but different from the monastery, warmer, more comfortable, more lived in. This is not a place of withdrawal, of silence, of devotion alone. This is a place of life, of family, of community, of celebration. It is December, the days before Christmas, and the house is being prepared, transformed, made ready. For the celebration, for the feast, for the season, you stand in the great hall, the main room, the heart of the house. It is vast, enormous. The ceiling is high, timbered, great oak beams stretching across, supporting. The walls are stone, but hung with tapestries, woven wool depicting scenes, hunts, battles, stories, adding color, adding warmth, insulating against the cold. At one end of the hall, the hearth, massive. A fireplace so large you could stand inside it, walk inside it. Stone carved, blackened with use, with centuries of fires, of smoke, of heat. And in this hearth, soon, will burn the Yule log. The tradition continues from ancient forests, through medieval monasteries to Tudor manor houses. The log, the fire, the light in darkness, the warmth in winter, the symbol of survival, of hope, of celebration. But first, before the log, before the fire, before the feast, there is work to be done. Preparation, decoration, the bringing in of greenery. This is the task, the tradition, the essential ritual of Tudor Christmas, to bring the forest inside, to bring life inside, to bring green inside, in the dead of winter, when everything outside is brown, dead, dormant, sleeping. You walk with others. Servants, family members, children, everyone participates, everyone helps. Out through the heavy wooden doors, out of the stone warmth, into the December cold, the estate grounds stretch before you. Gardens, now bare, lawns, now brown trees. Naked branches, dark, skeletal against gray sky, everything dormant, everything waiting for spring. But you are not looking for spring growth. You are looking for winter growth, for the evergreens, for the plants that do not die, that do not surrender, that remain green, alive, defiant through the darkest months. Holly, you find it first, growing, a shrub, a tree, dark green leaves, glossy, waxy, and the edges sharp, pointed, defensive, protective, and among the leaves, berries, red berries, bright red, brilliant against the green, against the gray, against the winter landscape. You cut branches carefully. The leaves are sharp, prickly. They catch your sleeves, your hands, but you gather them, armfuls. The branches are stiff. Strong, they hold their shape. Perfect for decoration, for display. Ivy, it grows everywhere, climbing, spreading up trees, over walls, across the ground. Long vines, flexible, pliant, covered in leaves, three-lobed, five-lobed, dark green. Trailing, endless, you cut lengths, long lengths that can be wound, draped, hung, arranged, and then mistletoe, harder to find, it grows high in the branches of old trees, apple trees, oak trees, parasitic, taking from the host, but beautiful, mysterious, sacred. Its leaves are pale green, almost white, soft, and its berries, white, translucent like pearls, like drops of moonlight, like something not quite of this world. Someone climbs, a young man, agile, brave, up the trunk, into the branches, cutting, dropping. The mistletoe falls, is gathered, precious, special, more rare than holly or ivy, more valued, more magical. You return to the house, arms full, branches, vines, greenery. The smell is strong, fresh, sharp. The smell of living plants, of sap, of chlorophyll, of forest, brought inside, into the stone halls, into the warm spaces, into human habitation. The work begins, the decoration, the transformation of the great hall, of the entire house, from stone and wood and tapestry to something else, something greener, something more alive, something that bridges the gap between inside and outside, between human and nature, between winter and the promise of spring. Holly branches are placed on the mantelpiece above the great hearth. The leaves shine in the firelight that already burns. The berries glow, red, like small flames themselves, like drops of blood, like life persisting. The sharp leaves remind, protect, ward off, evil spirits perhaps, or simply assert life, strength, survival. Ivy is wound around the pillars, the stone columns that support the hall. The vines spiral up, green against gray, living against stone. The leaves cascade, overlap, create texture, create movement, create the illusion that the pillars themselves are growing, are alive, are part of the forest brought inside. More ivy is draped, Along the beams, the great oak beams of the ceiling, hanging, swaying slightly in the warm air rising from below, creating garlands, natural garlands, not arranged, not perfected, just draped, allowed to hang, to be, to exist, and mistletoe, the most special, the most sacred, it is hung. In the doorway, in the arch, where people pass, where people meet, the ancient tradition, the pagan tradition that Christianity absorbed, accepted, claimed, a kiss beneath the mistletoe, a sign of peace, of truce, of love, of connection, the smell. Oh, the smell, it fills the hall, fills the house, the sharp scent of crushed pine needles. Yes, pine boughs too, cut, brought in, added to the decoration, their needles, so many needles, release their scent, their oil, their essence, when touched, when moved, when warmed by the fire. It is the smell of forest, of resin, of life, but intensified, concentrated, amplified by being inside, by being in warmth, by being in enclosed space. It mingles with wood smoke, with the smell of cooking from the kitchens, with beeswax from candles, creating a scent, the scent of Tudor Christmas, complex, layered, rich, unforgettable. The children run, playing, excited. The greenery transforms the familiar space, makes it new, special, different. This is not an ordinary day, not an ordinary time. This is Christmas, the season, the celebration. When the house itself becomes magical, becomes special, becomes alive, the adults work, arranging, adjusting, adding more, creating abundance, creating generosity, creating display. This is not minimal, not simple, not monastic. This is Tudor England. This is celebration. This is excess. Within reason, within tradition, within what is right, what is proper, what has always been done. And then, the Yule log, the servants bring it through the doors, massive oak or ash, enormous, as large as can be managed, as large as can fit in the great hearth. It takes 4 men, 6 men, straining, lifting, carrying, maneuvering through the hall to the fireplace. The log is positioned, one end in the fire, the other extending out into the hall, just like the ancient forests, just like the medieval monasteries, just like always. The tradition continues, unbroken, adapted but preserved, through centuries, through changes, through transformations. The current fire is built up, fed, made hot, very hot, and then the Yule log, its end is pushed into the flames. The bark begins to smoke, to char, to blacken, and then, slowly, it catches, ignites, begins to burn. The flames grow, spread, climb. The heat intensifies, radiates, fills the hall, pushes back the cold, pushes back the winter, pushes back the darkness. The firelight reflects off the greenery, off the holly leaves, off the ivy, creating movement, creating life, creating dance. Everyone gathers, watches. The lighting of the Yule log is significant, important. It must burn all night through Christmas Eve, into Christmas Day, through the 12 days of Christmas, kept alive, fed, maintained, a continuous fire, a continuous celebration, a continuous acknowledgement of what? Of light, of warmth, of survival, of community, of tradition, of connection to the past, to ancestors, to the cycle of seasons, to something larger, older, deeper than any individual life. The log burns steadily. The oak is dense, hard. It will burn slowly, very slowly, releasing heat, releasing light, releasing the sun stored within from when the tree was alive, growing, photosynthesizing, capturing energy, now released, given back, returned to warmth, to light, to life. The hall is transformed now, completely. The stone walls are softened by greenery, by firelight, by decoration. The cold severity is replaced with warmth, with abundance, with celebration. The space feels different, smells different, looks different, is different. This is Christmas in Tudor England, in the 1500s, in great houses, in manor halls, in the homes of those who can afford, who can celebrate, who can bring the forest inside, who can burn massive logs, who can feast, who can mark the season properly, traditionally, abundantly outside. The world is cold, dark, winter, but inside these decorated halls, there is warmth, there is light, there is green, there is life. There is the defiance of winter, the assertion of survival, the celebration of continuity. The holly berries glow, the ivy vines cascade, the mistletoe hangs, the pine needles release their scent, the Yule log burns, the firelight dances, the smoke rises, the warmth spreads. And the people gather, family, servants, community together in this space, transformed, made sacred, made special, made Christmas. This is the greenery of the Tudors. This is the decoration. This is the tradition, bringing nature inside, bringing life inside, bringing celebration inside. During the darkest time, during the coldest time, during winter, a reminder, a promise, a hope that spring will come, that life will return, that green will return, that warmth will return. But not yet, not now, for now. There is only this hall, this fire, this greenery, this Christmas, and it is enough. More than enough. It is everything. The smell of crushed pine, the glow of holly berries, the draping of ivy, the burning of the Yule log, the transformation of stone into celebration. This is Tudor Christmas. This is the greenery. This is the tradition that continues, that adapts, that survives, through centuries, through changes, through time, and the fire burns on, through the night, through the season, through Christmas, warming, lighting, celebrating the return of light, the persistence of life, the hope of spring in the heart of winter in Tudor England, in 1500s, in the Great Hall, where the forest has come inside, and Christmas has begun. Number the quiet history of Christmas. Forward again, 3 more centuries, the world accelerates, changes, transforms beyond recognition. The Industrial Revolution, steam, Factories, railways, cities growing, exploding, millions gathering, working, living, existing in new ways. Ways never before imagined. England, London, 1850, the Victorian era, Queen Victoria on the throne, an empire, the largest the world has known, spanning continents, controlling seas, bringing wealth, power, progress, and problems. Poverty, crowding, smoke, darkness of a different kind, but also something else, something softer, something warmer, something that will change Christmas forever, will create the Christmas you know, the Christmas of memory, of nostalgia, of what people think of when they think of Christmas. This is where it begins, the Victorian Christmas, the cozy Christmas, the Christmas of trees and gifts and family and warmth and sentiment, the Christmas that Dickens wrote, that cards depicted, that became the ideal, the template, the standard. You are walking through London, December evening. The streets are narrow, crowded, buildings press close, tall, brick, soot-stained, chimneys everywhere, hundreds, thousands, all smoking, burning coal, creating a haze, a fog, thick, yellow-gray, the famous London fog, pea soup, obscuring, muffling, transforming, gas lamps line the streets. New, modern, miraculous, not candles, not torches, but gas, piped, controlled, creating steady light, yellow light, warm light, each lamp surrounded by a halo, a glow. In the fog they float, suspended, like small moons, creating islands of visibility in the murk. The cobblestones beneath your feet are wet, slick, from fog, from earlier rain, from melted snow. The sound of footsteps, boots, many boots, workers returning home, shoppers, errand runners, the sound echoes, multiplies, creates a rhythm. The pulse of the city, carriages pass, horses' hooves clattering, wheels grinding, voices calling, drivers, pedestrians, street vendors, noise, but different noise, not mechanical, not electric, not modern noise, Victorian noise, human noise, animal noise, the noise of a world not yet fully mechanized. And the smell, London smells, smoke, coal smoke, wood smoke, chimney smoke, horse, manure, humanity, cooking, food, and something else, something sweeter, something festive, chestnuts, roasting, a street vendor, his brazier glowing, red coals, cast iron, a perforated pan, chestnuts tumbling, roasting, splitting, their shells cracking, their centers softening, steaming. The vendor calls out, his voice rough, practiced. Chestnuts, hot chestnuts, a penny a bag. The smell is wonderful, sweet, nutty, toasted. It cuts through the other smells, through the smoke, through the fog, inviting, tempting, warming. You buy a bag, paper, twisted, hot, almost too hot to hold. The chestnuts inside, still in their shells, blackened, split. You peel one carefully. The shell is hot, fragile. The nut inside is soft, creamy, sweet. You eat, standing in the street, in the fog, in the December cold. And for a moment, there is warmth, taste, simple pleasure. You continue walking through the foggy streets, past shops. Shop windows lit from inside, displaying, showing, inviting. This is new, this abundance, this commerce, this availability, Victorian prosperity, creating markets, creating desires, creating. Christmas shopping, toys in one window, wooden, painted tin soldiers, dolls, hobby horses, games, books. For children, Christmas is becoming about children, about giving to children, about their joy, their wonder, their delight. This is different, new, sentimental, Victorian. You arrive at a house, a home, middle class, respectable, brick, 3 stories, narrow like all London houses, pressed together, sharing walls, but individual, private, a door, black with brass knocker, polished, steps leading up, swept, clean, proper. You enter. The hallway is narrow, dark wood, paneled, a staircase rising, steep, to the upper floors, a coat stand, an umbrella stand, the essentials, the practicalities, but also something else, something hanging, greenery. The tradition continues. From ancient forests, through medieval monasteries, through Tudor halls to Victorian homes, the bringing in of green, of life, of celebration. But there is something new, something different, something revolutionary in the parlor, the main room. The family room. You enter, and you see it, the Christmas tree, a fir tree, an evergreen, not outside, not in a forest, but inside, in the house, in the parlor, standing upright, in a pot, in a stand, decorated, transformed, made, magical. This is new. This is German. Prince Albert, the Queen's husband. He brought this tradition from his homeland, and the Queen adopted it, embraced it, popularized it. And now, everyone wants one. Everyone must have one, a Christmas tree. In their home, in their parlor, the new tradition, the Victorian innovation. The tree is small, perhaps 5 feet, perhaps 6, not enormous, not the modern giants, but substantial, present, real, its branches spread, dark green, fragrant. The smell of pine, of forest, of resin, concentrated, indoors, filling the room, and on the branches, decorations, not plastic, not electric, but real, handmade, precious, carefully placed, each one chosen, valued, meaningful, paper chains, made by children, colored paper, cut, glued, looped, creating garlands, simple, cheerful, personal, wrapped around, spiraling, connecting branches, gilded walnuts, real walnuts painted gold, hung by thread, catching light, gleaming, small. Beautiful, treasure made from common things, Victorian ingenuity, Victorian craft and glass ornaments imported from Germany from craftsmen, blown glass, delicate, fragile spheres, shapes, icicles, colored, silver, gold, red, green, blue, reflecting, multiplying, the light, creating sparkle, creating magic, creating wonder. But the most remarkable thing, the most dangerous thing, the most beautiful thing, the candles, real candles, small candles, white, wax, clipped to the branches, dozens of them with special holders, metal clips that grip, that secure, that hold, flame, fire on a tree, a dry tree, a resinous tree, a flammable tree. This is madness. This is risk. This is Victorian Christmas. Because the effect is beyond description, beyond belief, beyond anything before. The candles are lit, one by one, carefully with a taper, a long match, reaching, touching, igniting. Each wick catches, each flame grows, steady, small, golden, and the tree. The tree transforms from decoration to illumination to magic. The flames flicker gently in the still air. No drafts, the windows are closed, the doors are shut. The parlor is warm, heated. By a coal fire in the grate, the flames on the tree burn steady, multiply, dozens of small flames creating a constellation, a galaxy of light on the tree, and the glass ornaments, they catch this light, reflect it, multiply it. Each sphere becomes a small mirror, a small prism, fragmenting, refracting, creating points of light, spots of brightness, moving, shifting, with the slightest air current, with the flickering flames, creating the illusion of stars, of jewels, of something not quite real. The family gathers, sits, watches in silence, in awe, in wonder. This is new. This is their first tree, or perhaps their second, still novel, still miraculous, still magical. The children's faces glow, lit by the tree, by the candles, their eyes wide, reflecting flame, reflecting wonder, reflecting joy. This is the Victorian innovation. This is what changes Christmas. This is what makes it cozy, intimate, domestic, centered in the home, in the parlor, around the tree, with family, with warmth, with light, with love, with sentiment, with everything that will define Christmas for generations to come. Outside, the fog continues, the city continues, the poverty continues, the struggle continues. Dickens writes of both, of poverty and of plenty, of Scrooge and of Tiny Tim, of what is, and what could be, should be, might be. Victorian Christmas contains both, the ideal and the reality, the hope and the hardship. But here, in this parlor, in this moment, there is only this tree, this light, this warmth, this family, this peace, this quiet celebration, this cozy Christmas, this Victorian Christmas, this new Christmas. The candles burn, the ornaments gleam, the fire crackles in the grate, the fog presses against the windows, but inside, there is light, there is warmth, there is Christmas. The evening continues, slowly, gently. The excitement of the tree, the wonder of the candles has settled, subsided, transformed into something quieter, deeper, more peaceful. The children have been sent to bed, reluctantly, excited, anticipating. Tomorrow is Christmas, Christmas morning. Gifts, surprises, joy, but for now, they must sleep, must wait, must dream, their footsteps on the stairs, their voices fading, their doors closing, and then silence. The adults remain, the parents, perhaps grandparents, perhaps a visiting aunt, a few, not many. The parlor is quiet now, the house is quiet, the world seems quiet, even London, even outside. The fog muffles. The late hour empty streets creates calm, creates stillness. The candles on the tree have been extinguished. Carefully, safely, with a small snuffer, each flame pinched out, each wick smoking briefly. The risk removed, the magic. Paused but not gone, the tree remains, dark now, but still present, still fragrant, still. There, waiting for tomorrow, when the candles will be lit again, when the magic will return. The fire in the grate still burns, coal fire, not wood, Victorian fuel, more efficient, hotter, longer lasting. The coals glow, red, orange, deep heat, radiating, filling the room, keeping winter at bay, creating comfort, creating coziness. You sit in a chair, upholstered, comfortable, Victorian comfort, springs, padding, fabric, velvet perhaps, or damask, dark colors, burgundy, forest green, midnight blue. The chair is positioned near the fire, close enough for warmth, far enough for safety, the perfect distance. Your feet rest on a small stool, footstool. Needle point. Someone made it, grandmother perhaps. Years ago, decades. The stitches are tight, even creating a pattern. Flowers, leaves, faded now, worn, but still functional, still comfortable, still. There, on the side table, within reach. A cup of tea, proper tea, in a proper teacup. Bone china, thin, delicate, painted. Blue willow pattern perhaps, or roses, or something floral, something Victorian, something proper. The tea is black, strong, perhaps with milk, perhaps with sugar. Lukewarm now, but still comforting, still present, still available, and in your hands a book, a leather-bound book, heavy, substantial, real, not paperback, not mass-produced, but bound, properly. Leather, brown or burgundy or dark green, embossed, with gold lettering. The title, the author, raised, tactile, beautiful. The pages are thick, quality paper, cream-colored, not white, not bright, but aged, natural. The text is printed, clear, serif font, traditional, readable. The margins are wide, generous. The book is designed, not just for reading, but for holding, for owning, for keeping, for treasuring. You read by firelight, the only light now. No candles on the tree, no gas lamps in here, just the fire, its orange glow, its flickering light, dancing across the pages, creating movement, creating shadow, making the reading intimate, special, different from daylight reading. The book is, perhaps Dickens, A Christmas Carol, just published a few years ago. Already a tradition, already essential, already Christmas, the story of Scrooge, of transformation, of redemption, of ghosts and visits and warnings and change, Victorian morality, Victorian sentiment, Victorian Christmas, or perhaps poetry, Tennyson or Wordsworth or something religious, a devotional, the Bible, the Christmas story, Luke's Gospel, the Nativity, read aloud or silently, words that have been read for centuries at Christmas, always at Christmas, connecting present to past, to tradition, to meaning. The fire crackles softly, occasionally, a coal shifts, settles, releases trapped gas, creates a small flame, blue, yellow, brief. The sound is gentle, comforting, familiar. The sound of warmth, of security, Of home, the clock ticks somewhere on the mantelpiece perhaps, a Victorian clock, ornate, heavy brass or porcelain or dark wood. The ticking is steady, rhythmic, marking time but not urgently, not demanding. Just present, counting, recording, existing, outside, very faintly. You might hear something, a church bell, distant, muffled by fog marking the hour, midnight perhaps, or later, or earlier. Time becomes fluid, uncertain, unimportant. There is no urgency, no schedule, no obligation, just this sitting, this reading, this quiet, this peace. The warmth from the fire creates drowsiness, not uncomfortable, not forced, just natural. The kind of sleepiness that comes from comfort, from safety, from contentment. Your eyelids grow heavy. Your reading slows, you pause. Rest the book on your lap. Close your eyes just for a moment. The sounds of the house become audible. Small sounds. The creak of timbers cooling, contracting after the warmth of day. The house settling. Old houses do this. Victorian houses, they speak, quietly, gently, telling you they are there. They are solid. They are protecting. Upstairs, nothing. The children sleep, deeply, exhausted by excitement, by anticipation, by the day. Their dreams are probably of tomorrow, of Christmas morning, of gifts, of joy. They sleep. Innocent, hopeful, happy, your spouse perhaps, in the chair opposite. Also reading, or knitting. Victorian women knit, always knitting, creating, producing. Useful things, beautiful things, scarves, stockings, shawls, the needles click. Softly, rhythmically, another sound, another comfort, another presence. Or perhaps you are alone, spouse already to bed. House entirely quiet, just you and the fire and the book and the silence and this moment, this perfect moment, this gift, the gift of silence, the gift of peace, the gift of Christmas Eve. This is Victorian Christmas at its best, not the abundance, not the decoration, not the spectacle, but this quiet, this intimate, this personal, this moment of reflection, of rest, of gratitude, of being, the book in your hands, the fire at your feet, the warmth surrounding, the silence enveloping, the house protecting, the night waiting, Christmas coming in hours, soon, but not yet, not now. Now there is only this. You open your eyes, resume reading. A few more pages. The words wash over you. Familiar, comforting, even if new, even if first reading. The rhythm, the language, Victorian prose, formal, ornate, beautiful like the era itself, like the decorations, like the tree, like everything, careful, considered, meaningful. The fire burns lower, the coals settling, dimming, but still warm, still glowing, still sufficient. You should add more coal, keep it burning through the night, but not yet, not now. A few more minutes, a few more pages, a little more. This, because tomorrow will be different, tomorrow will be active, bright, loud, family, meals, gifts, excitement, joy, all wonderful, all good, all Christmas. But tonight is this quiet, this stillness, this peace, this silence, the gift of silence. in a Victorian Christmas Eve, in a London home in 1850, in the parlor by the fire with a book, alone or nearly alone, in warmth, in safety, in comfort, in peace. This is what Christmas can be, what it should be, what it is. When stripped of noise, of obligation, of stress, just moments, quiet moments, peaceful moments, restful moments, meaningful moments. The clock continues ticking. The fire continues glowing. You continue reading. The house continues standing. The night continues passing. Christmas continues approaching. And you sit and rest and read and exist in this perfect moment, this Victorian moment, this Christmas Eve moment, the gift, the greatest gift, not wrapped, not under a tree, not bought, not sold, just given by time, by circumstance, by choice, by Christmas, the gift of silence, the gift of peace, the gift of this, and it is enough, more than enough. It is everything, and Christmas, the quiet Christmas, the sacred Christmas, continues. Time moves forward, again, faster now. The world accelerates, changes. The 20th century arrives, brings with it everything: automobiles, airplanes, electricity, telephones, motion pictures, and something else. Something that will transform Christmas once more. Transform how it is experienced, how it is shared, how it reaches everyone: the wireless, the radio, voices, music, through the air, invisible, miraculous, modern, a wooden box, sitting in the living room, connected to everything, to the world, to sounds from distant places, to shared experiences, to connection. You are in a home, a suburban home, 1920s. America now, not England, not London, but a small town, somewhere, anywhere. A house on a quiet street, tree-lined, modest, comfortable, middle class, post-war prosperity, modern conveniences, indoor plumbing, electric lights, a telephone perhaps, and the radio. It is Christmas Eve. Evening, the room is warm, heated not by fireplace, though there is one, decorative, rarely used, but by radiators, steam heat, cast iron, modern, efficient, consistent. The warmth is different, not focused, not localized, but spread, even throughout the house. Modern warmth, controlled warmth, comfortable warmth. The living room is decorated, of course. A tree stands in the corner, larger than Victorian trees, fuller, cut fresh. From a lot perhaps, bought, transported, set up in a stand, with water kept alive or appearing alive for the season, and on the tree, lights, electric lights, not candles, never candles anymore, too dangerous, too old-fashioned, too Victorian. Now there are lights, small bulbs, colored glass, red, green, blue, yellow, orange, strung on wires, plugged into the wall, into electricity, into modern convenience, into safety, into progress. The lights glow steadily, not flickering, not dancing, just glowing, constant, reliable, modern. They reflect off ornaments, glass balls, tinsel, silver strands, draped, hung, creating shimmer, creating sparkle, creating Christmas, but tonight is not about the tree. Not primarily. Tonight is about something else, something new, something gathered around, something listened to, something miraculous. The radio. It sits on a table or perhaps on a shelf. A wooden cabinet, dark wood, polished, substantial. Not small, not portable. This is furniture. This is a piece of the home, important, central, valued. The front has a speaker, covered with fabric, stretched, beige or gold behind it. The mechanics, the tubes, the circuits, the wires, the magic, hidden. Mysterious, working, always working. When turned on, when warmed up, when alive, and on the front dials, knobs for tuning, for volume, for control. You adjust them carefully, turning, listening, seeking. The static crackles, white noise, empty frequencies, and then something, a voice, faint, distant. You adjust, fine-tune, the voice becomes clearer, stronger, more present, but you are not looking for speaking. Not tonight. Tonight you are looking for music, Christmas music. A special broadcast, announced, anticipated, a choir. A church choir from New York perhaps, or Chicago, somewhere far but reaching here, through the air, through the wireless, through this wooden box, into your home, into this room, into this moment. You find it, the station, the frequency, and there it is, music, voices, many voices, singing, harmonizing, beautiful, but not quite clear, not quite perfect. There is crackling, static, interference. The signal wavers, strengthens, weakens, but it is there, it is real, it is Christmas. The family gathers, sits on the sofa, on chairs pulled close, around the radio, around the sound, listening, focused, attentive. This is the evening's entertainment. This is the event. This is special. The choir is singing. Silent Night. The most famous carol, the most beloved, the most Christmas. The voices blend, rise, fall. The harmonies interweave, create something beautiful, ethereal, sacred, even through the static, even through the crackling, even through the imperfect transmission. The beauty comes through. The meaning comes through. The Christmas comes through. Silent night, holy night. The words are familiar, known, sung every year, every Christmas. For generations now. Since 1818, since Austria, since a small church. A simple melody, a profound text, peace, calm, light, hope, all contained in these verses, in this song. The voices continue, verse after verse. The sound fills the room, not loudly. The volume is moderate, respectful, but present, filling. The crackling adds something, texture, reality, proof that this is real. This is happening. Now live, somewhere distant, being broadcast, being shared, being experienced together with thousands, millions perhaps, all listening, all connected, all together on Christmas Eve. You look toward the window, large, modern, with curtains pulled back, allowing view. Outside, snow, it is snowing, heavy snow. Large flakes, falling steadily, endlessly accumulating on the ground, on the street, on the trees, on the car parked outside, covering everything, transforming everything, making everything. White, clean, pure, perfect. The street lights glow. Electric street lights. Modern, bright, creating circles of light where the snow passes through. Visible, dancing, swirling. Each flake illuminated, briefly, before landing, before joining, before becoming part of the accumulation. The transformation, the winter wonderland, inside, warmth outside, cold inside, light outside, darkness, but beautiful darkness, soft darkness, snow-filled darkness, Christmas Eve darkness, the kind that feels right, appropriate, necessary, part of the magic, part of the season, part of this. The radio continues. The choir sings other carols now. O come all ye faithful. Hark, the herald angels sing. Joy to the world. One after another. Familiar, beloved. Traditional, the soundtrack of Christmas, of this Christmas Eve, of 1920s Christmas Eve. Modern, but still. Traditional, still. Connected to the past, to Victoria, to Tudor, to medieval, to ancient, all the way back. To the beginning, to the winter solstice, to the celebration of light in darkness, of hope in winter. The children are quiet, drowsy, leaning against parents, against each other. The warmth, the music, the late hour, the excitement of tomorrow, all combining, creating sleepiness, creating peace, creating rest. Soon they will be sent to bed, to dream, to wait, for morning, for Christmas morning, for gifts, for joy. But not yet, not now, a few more carols, a few more minutes, a little more, this. The electric lights on the tree glow softly. The snow falls steadily outside. The radio plays quietly inside. The warmth surrounds. The family rests together. And Christmas, modern Christmas, 1920s Christmas, suburban Christmas, continues quietly, peacefully, beautifully. This is the gift of the wireless, not just entertainment, not just convenience, but connection, shared experience. The ability to participate in something larger, something beyond the home, beyond the town, beyond the individual, part of a nation, a world, all listening, all celebrating, all together. The static crackles, the voices sing, the snow falls, the lights glow, and Christmas, the quiet history of Christmas, continues evolving, adapting, but remaining essentially, beautifully, meaningfully Christmas. The music fades. Eventually, the broadcast ends. The static returns. You turn the dial. The radio goes silent. The wooden box, just a box again, until tomorrow, until needed again. The children have gone to bed, finally, reluctantly. Sleepily, their footsteps on the stairs, their doors closing, their voices gone. The house is quiet now, so quiet, just adults, just silence, just peace. You remain sitting in the warm room, the tree lights still glow, softly. You should turn them off. Soon, but not yet, not quite yet. Their glow is comforting, gentle, not bright, not harsh, just there, like embers, like memories, like Christmas outside. The snow has stopped. The falling has ceased. Everything is still, covered, white, silent. The streetlights illuminate, nothing moves, no cars, no people, no animals, just stillness, perfect stillness. Christmas Eve stillness. You stand. Move to the window, look out. The world is transformed. The familiar street. The known neighborhood made strange, made beautiful, made magical by snow, by silence, by night, by Christmas Eve. Your breath fogs the glass. Slightly, you wipe it, clear it, look again. Nothing has changed, nothing moves. The world has stopped, paused, held its breath, waiting for Christmas, for morning, for dawn, for tomorrow, but you are not waiting, not really. You are here now in this moment, this quiet moment, this peaceful moment, this perfect moment between celebration and sleep, between activity and rest, between Christmas Eve and Christmas. You turn from the window, move through the house, checking, doors locked, lights off, heater adjusted, the routine, the necessary routine, the settling of the house for night, for sleep, for rest. Everything is secure, everything is ready, everything is right. The house feels different tonight, special, sacred, not just a house, but a home, a Christmas home, a place of warmth, of love, of family, of peace. You climb the stairs slowly, tired now. The day has been long, full, good, but exhausting. The kind of exhaustion that comes from joy, from celebration, from living fully, completely, presently. The bedroom is dark, quiet, your spouse sleeps already. Breathing softly, steadily, peacefully, you move quietly, carefully, not wanting to disturb, not wanting to wake, just joining in sleep, in rest, in peace. You lie down. The bed is soft, comfortable, modern springs, mattress, pillows, blankets, not furs, not quilts, but modern bedding, warm, sufficient, comfortable. You settle, adjust, find your position, your place, your rest, and you close your eyes. The darkness is complete, total, no light, no sound, no anything, just darkness, just silence, just nothing. Your body relaxes, releases, the tensions, the holdings, the efforts of the day all fall away, dissolve, disappear. Your muscles soften, your breathing slows, your heartbeat calms, everything settles, everything rests. Your mind begins to drift. Thoughts arise, memories of the day, of the evening, of the tree, the lights, the radio, the music, the snow, images, sounds, feelings all mixing, blending, fading, becoming, dream becoming, nothing, silent night, the words return, unbidden, gentle, silent night, holy night, not sung, not heard, just there in your mind, in your memory, in your being. The melody soft, the meaning deep, the peace profound, all is calm. Yes, all is calm, the house, the neighborhood, the world, everything. Calm, settled, resting, waiting, but not anxiously, not urgently, just waiting peacefully, quietly, calmly. All is bright, the tree lights, the street lights, the snow, the stars hidden now, but there, above the clouds, above the world, shining, always shining, bright, eternal, constant, like Christmas, like hope, like light. Your breathing deepens, slows. Each breath longer, fuller, easier, in and out, rhythmic, natural, automatic, the breath of sleep, the breath of rest, the breath of peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Yes, sleep, deep sleep, restful sleep, Christmas Eve sleep. The sleep that comes from contentment, from completion, from rightness. Everything is as it should be, everything is right, and sleep comes gently, naturally, beautifully. Your body feels heavy, so heavy, sinking into the mattress, into the bed, into rest, into nothing, not unpleasant, not frightening, just heavy, relaxed, released. Let go your arms, heavy, still, resting where they lie, not moving, not needing to move, just being, just there, just resting, your legs heavy, long stretched, relaxed, the muscles soft, released. No tension, no holding, no effort, just wait, just rest, just peace, your face soft, smooth, no expression, no tension, the jaw loose, the lips parted, the breath flowing, gentle, easy, natural, the face of sleep, of rest, of peace. And your mind, quiet now, so quiet, thoughts have stopped, worries have ceased, plans have dissolved. There is only this darkness, this quiet, this rest, this nothing, beautiful nothing, peaceful nothing, perfect nothing, silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, the words fade, become feeling, become truth. This is silent night, this is holy night, this is Christmas, not the mourning, not the gifts, not the celebration, but this silence, this peace, this rest, this sleep. You are drifting, floating, falling gently, slowly down into darkness, into sleep, into nothing and everything, both, neither, just drifting, just being. Just sleeping, the house breathes around you, with you settling, creaking, whispering its own sleep, its own rest, its own peace, protecting, sheltering, holding you, your family, your Christmas, your peace. Outside, the world sleeps too. The snow-covered world, the silent world, the Christmas Eve world, everything sleeps, everything rests, everything waits for morning, for light, for Christmas. But not yet, not now. Now there is only this sleep, this peace, this silence, eternal silence, not ending, not frightening, just continuing, holding, surrounding, protecting, the silence of peace, the silence of rest, the silence of Christmas, true Christmas, quiet Christmas, peaceful Christmas. And you sleep, deep sleep, dreamless sleep, perfect sleep, Christmas Eve sleep, the sleep of contentment, of completion, of peace, of love. Sleep, just sleep, deep, deep sleep, silent, holy, peaceful sleep. The darkness holds you, the silence surrounds you, the peace fills you, and you disappear into rest, into sleep, into nothing, everything, peace, love, Christmas, silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. I sleep in heavenly peace, sleep, sleep, sleep.